you, Canada, my country.
Mi país, la mia regione, mon pays,
Yene Gaga,
my nation.
my country. When I think of being Canadian, I think of the mix of cultures in Canada. The simplest terms is to be equal. I think of the whole idea of a global village. So I can do everything, even though I feel like I'm superwoman up in Canada. You're just here and you're you're just great being Canadian. Iba't ibang kultura, nagkakasama sa magandang bansa. There's somewhere for everybody. And I feel like that's something really special about Canada, and that's what I love.
The first day that I arrived in Canada, I went to a big furniture store, and I was so surprised. Not because of the different color sofas, but because of the different color faces that I saw. And I thought, am I still at the airport? I could do all kinds of races at first day. We are living in lots of immigrants here in Canada. The Canadian government accepts 250,000 immigrants every year. These are a lot, right? Yeah. These immigrants might have expected to get a job, to earn money, and to advance into huge society. And also, they might have expected their children to be bilingual and to be educated in progressive environments. And already lots of second-generation immigrants have made it. They succeed in their positions. Chanel Lee, a famous billiard player nicknamed Black Widow. She was born in New York between Korean parents. When she was 13, she had swayed back, so she had to have surgery 8 times, and she has 2 marathons in her back. Her doctor forbade Janet from a plane, but her passion was so strong, she ended up ranking #1 position. Michelle Lee, a pro golfer. Her father was a professor of Hawaii University, and her mother was a South Korean amateur golf champion and competed Miss Korea pageant. I think that's why she's so beautiful. And when she was 14, she was already 5 feet 10, 880 centimeters. I think she's very special. And she's got lots of records as the youngest amateur golfer, and she turned professional before her 16th birthday party. Professional and tall, pretty, and young. I think she's perfect. Very unfair. Sandra Oh, a famous actress from a famous TV show, Grey's Anatomy. Have you seen this TV show? Yeah, very famous. She was picked in the list of 50 the most beautiful people in the world from the People magazine. She experienced racial discrimination, but she always concentrated on her tasks and ended up overcoming. Imagine if she were in Korea, she might be just a normal Korean. But now she shines on TV. She's gorgeous and professional. Sports, politics, entertainment, we can see lots of cases of the successful second-generation immigrants. But our society always has 2 faces. If we can see successful second-generation immigrants, we can also see second-generation immigrants who couldn't get used to being Canadian. We build our identity in childhood, so let's talk about that. In my opinion, there are 2 types of children. First, who am I? I'm not a Canadian, but now I'm here in Canada. Nothing matches with me. I want to go back to my country. What should I do? This child feels detached from Canada and alone. Next, I'm a Canadian, but my parents, they are not Canadian. From school, I learned Canadian things, but they require me to follow their cultures. We can't understand each other. This child feels connected to Canada, but is estranged from their native country. And I've heard some parents press their children, you have to learn how to speak English quickly, and you have to solve English things for our family. They are so young. In this way, they can be in wrong way, like this. When they are young, they get along each other no matter what races they are. But usually when they are in a high school, they tend to separate like these groups. But they still speak in English. Why? Having two cultures, sometimes it can cause confusions. If two different cultures crash, it can make confusions to build their identity. But after overcame, they can understand even beyond cultural things. Especially in Canada, they can speak more than two languages, English, French, and their own language. And I've heard from my teacher, when she came to Canada first, she was so surprised because everybody was equal. My teacher and I are equal, my mom and I are equal. It was very comfortable, but on the other side, it was very uncomfortable. Like this, having two cultures can be confusion and benefit. We have to think in positive way, like this. I'm a first presenter and I'm very nervous, but I can do like this. And now I'm living with my uncle's family in Canada. They came here 5 years ago, and I have 3 cousins. Even their case, they have difference between the oldest and the youngest. And I interview them. Let's listen about their opinion about living in Canada.
Hi, my name is Jihye. I'm 14 years old.
Are you enjoying living in Canada? Can you interview with me?
Because I love it living here and I can do activities and meet friends every day and play sports. Here you can also go to camping. It's not that expensive, but in Korea it's very expensive.
Are schools different?
In Korea they're very strict. Like they can hit students, but in Canada you can't. It's illegal, I think. Yeah. Oh, the graduation, because in Korea there is no dance party or any celebrations. But in Canada, after the graduation, you can go to parties and have fun and dance with your partners, and then dress up like costume or something like that if you want to.
How did you learn to speak English?
In my classroom, there wasn't any Korean people to translate Korean to English. So I learned by sign languages first, and then the ESL teacher taught me English. So yeah, I learned. Hi, my name is Jihye Choi and I'm 11 years old.
Do you remember your first year in Canada?
Yes, in Christmas I believed in Santa Claus. I got a present from my parents, but I thought it was Santa Claus. And at school I didn't understand English, and also I watched my TV a lot.
What are the differences between Korea and Canada?
I remembered when it was snowing, and it was different from Korea because in Korea it doesn't snow a lot, but in Canada it snows a lot. In Halloween, I remembered when I went trick-or-treating with my friends, and when we got home, we got a lot of candy. It was really different from Korean culture.
What was changed?
When we were in Korea, my dad worked even on weekends, sometimes holidays. But he has more time to hang out with us in Canada. I think people are more relaxed in Canada, but in Korea, people are busy. My name is Jihye and I'm 10 years old.
Do you remember your first friend in Canada?
I have a friend named Kevin. He is from China. We met 5 years ago, which is my second year in Canada. He can speak 5 languages: English, French, Chinese, Japanese, and Korean a little bit. He's interested in K-pop. We sometimes fight, but he is a good friend.
I've heard you are taking a Korean class.
I forgot how to speak Korean, so I've been learning English for so long. I'm so sad. So nowadays I'm going to Korean language school to speak Korean, and my sister really loves it. Well, I'll try more.
When do you leave Korea?
Every weekends we Skype with my grandmother. Whenever I Skype, I miss Korea. I remember her house. I want to meet her someday.
Bye. See you.
Bye. Bye. Peace. Peace.
Are they cute? Now I'm very proud of my cousins that they go well. When I've been here for 6 months, I really miss Korea. They are so young, but I think stronger than me. So I wondered, thought, and learned from them how to be a member of Canada and how to compromise parents and their children, how to cure them in a way from any bad experiences. Conversation. Even they have a language gap between parents and their children, they have to try. If parents try to learn English, it would be perfect. Understanding. Especially in Canada, we have lots of different cultures. So it's possible that parents and their children have different religions. After they understand, they can compromise. Respect. They should understand other cultures, but also respect their own culture. They shouldn't lose their identity. Education. This is a feature in Canada, school feature in Canada. The school has to teach how different and individual they are, but also how same and how connected they are. These are not their story. The word there means others and separated from us. These are ours, our neighbors, our friends, and our teachers' story. Thank you.
Thank you, Jihye. I'm sure that a lot of the people in our audience can relate to the feeling of being an outsider in a foreign language, in a foreign country, and the feelings that you described in your presentation. So very good. So let's hear from the judges and get some feedback on that. So shall we start with Neil?
I'm going to lose my voice slowly, gradually. It'll be interesting for you. You can hear how my voice slowly gets worse and worse. But I'll try to comment a little bit. Okay, so what I'm listening for is just overall warmth, overall connection, and moments where you connect with your audience are the most important thing for me. So honesty is never boring. You were worried a little bit about your presentation. So I hope you see now that when you're spontaneous, it has some kind of energy to it, and you did that tonight. You even used great intonation. So I was really and how connected they are. You said so it's great. It shows that you were listening during class in all our practice. So great presentation, Jihye. Great presentation and necessary, timely, really connected to our place and time. So I really enjoyed it, and I hope you're super happy with it because it couldn't have been better.
Thank you.
As Neil said, he's going more of the overall. Myself, I know Will says 2 minutes, so I'm not going to go too much into detail, but some of the things that I really want to identify. It flowed very well. So you had the pauses, responses from your audience. Also, like he said, you relaxed. You look very relaxed, which is good. Now, as far as engagement, that's something I always focus on, and you had them very well engaged from the beginning to the end. So you had at the beginning the video, during the middle you had engagement, not just showing the whole video, but you paused it to get their feedback. So that makes sure that they're engaged, which is very well. You had them engage also with experiences. So it wasn't only your personal experiences, but having others' experiences that can very well relate to them. So that was very, very well done. It was evidence of research that you have demonstrated. And again, as I said, your use of ideas, that showed innovation. And as for your delivery, you had excellent eye contact, you had a positive gesture, you had posture, you had, those are very important. Sometimes people may vouch or they're just kind of, but showing that, it shows how you're positive in your presentation. So overall, that was very fantastic. And I really liked how you used an acronym as CURE, because that's something they will not forget, right? They'll never CURE and what it stood for. So you did an excellent job. Congratulations.
Thank you.